Daf Yomi, Tractate, Bava Metzia, page 53, B, part 2, with the words Ihachi. A few lines from the bottom. The Gemara comments, if so, why did the Tana teach specifically a case where the produce does not have the value of one pruta? The same would hold true even if it has the value of one pruta. The Gemara answers, the Tana is speaking utilizing the style of it is not necessary. It is not necessary to state that if the produce has the value of one pruta, the halacha is that the partitions gather it and it can no longer be redeemed. But if it does not have the value of one pruta, say that the partitions do not gather it. Therefore, he teaches us that the partitions gather even second tithe produce worth less than one pruta, and it cannot be redeemed. The sages taught that it is written, and if a man will redeem his tithe, he shall add to it the fifth part thereof, Leviticus 27:31, from which it is inferred of his tithe, but not all his tithe. This serves to exclude second tithe that does not have the value of one pruta, which cannot be redeemed. It was stated that there is an Amoraic dispute with regard to this halacha. Rabbi Ami says the second tithe cannot be redeemed in a case where the produce itself does not have the value of one pruta. Rav Asi says the second tithe cannot be redeemed in a case where its additional payment of 1/5 does not have the value of one pruta. Other Amoraim dispute the same issue. Rabbi Yochanan says the produce itself does not have the value of one pruta. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish says its additional payment of 1/5 does not have the value of one pruta. The Gemara raises an objection from a Braita with regard to the second tithe produce that does not have the value of one pruta. It is sufficient that he will say it and its additional payment of 1/5 are desacralized upon the first coins upon which I already redeemed second tithe produce. The Gemara explains the objection. Granted, according to the one who says there is not the value of a pruta in its additional payment of 1/5, this is the reason that the Tana teaches it is sufficient, which indicates that even though in the produce itself it has the value of one pruta, since there is not the value of a pruta in its 1/5 payment, it works out well, as it is sufficient if he redeems the produce with other second tithe produce. But according to the one who says it is in a case where the produce itself does not have the value of one pruta, that the second tithe cannot be redeemed, what is the meaning of it is sufficient? From the outset, there was never sufficient value for there to be any element of redemption. The Gemara concludes, indeed, it is difficult to explain the Braita according to that opinion. Apropos the additional payment of 1/5, a dilemma was raised before the sages. Is the payment of 1/5 calculated from within, meaning 1/5 of the value of the redeemed item, or is the 1/5 calculated from without, meaning 1/4 of the value of the redeemed item, which is 1/5 of the eventual payment? The principal plus the additional 1/5. Ravina says, come and hear a resolution of the dilemma from a Braita. In a case where the owner says he is willing to redeem consecrated property for 20 dinars, and any other person is willing to purchase the property for 20 dinars, the owners take precedence and redeem the property due to the fact that they are obligated to add 1/5 and the temple treasury profits more from the owner than from anyone else. If one who is not the owner said, "It is incumbent upon me to desacralize it for 21 dinars,"